African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of March 27, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. In the Belgorod Direction, units of the North Group of Forces defeated concentrations of manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized brigades, an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Prokody, Ugrody, Stepek and Mikhailovskoye in the Sumy region. The enemy's losses amounted to 80 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, a car, and 2 artillery pieces. Units of the West Group of Forces improved their position along the forward edge. They defeated formations of 2 mechanized, airmobile brigades and an airborne assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the areas of the settlements of Kondrashovka, Bogoslavka, Novoplatonovka in the Kharkov region and Yampol in the Donetsk People's Republic. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost over 210 servicemen, 3 pickup trucks and 9 field artillery pieces, including a British-made 155mm FH-70 howitzer. The units of the Southern Group of Troops took up more advantageous lines and positions. They defeated the manpower and equipment of 5 mechanized, airmobile brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 territorial defense brigades and a National Guard brigade in the areas of the settlements of Seversk, Pleshchevka, Platonovka, Minkovka, Chasov and Konstantinovka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost over 280 servicemen, a tank, 5 armored combat vehicles, including an M113 armored personnel carrier and a U.S.-made Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. 8 vehicles and 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces improved their tactical position. They defeated formations of the mechanized, assault brigades, Unmanned Systems Brigade, Assault Regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Marine Infantry Brigade and National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Marilyabovka, Dmitrov, Krasnoarmeysk, Kodlino, Zvarivo and Alexeivka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The losses of the Ukrainian Armed Forces amounted to 465 servicemen, 2 combat armored vehicles, 2 cars, and 3 field artillery pieces. Units of the East Group of Forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defense. They defeated the manpower and equipment of 3 mechanized, airmobile brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Territorial Defense Brigade and the Nationalist Battalion Adar in the areas of the settlements of Konstantinopol, Bogodar, Komar and Otradnoye of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy's losses amounted to 135 militants, 3 combat armored vehicles, a car, and 3 field artillery pieces. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces defeated formations of a mechanized, mountain assault brigade, 2 coastal defense brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements of Novodanilovka, Lobkovo, Stepnogorsk, Novopokrovka in the Zaporizhia region and Antonovka in the Kherson region. Up to 80 servicemen, 5 vehicles, an artillery piece, an electronic warfare station and an ammunition depot were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops and artillery of the groups of troops of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation damaged the infrastructure facilities of the military airfield, production buildings of the weapons enterprise of the military-industrial complex of Ukraine, workshops for the production of strike unmanned aerial vehicles, a supply base of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, warehouses of rockets and ammunition, as well as concentrations of manpower and equipment of the Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 157 districts. Air defense systems shot down a MiG-29 aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force, 2 JDAM guided aerial bombs and a HIMARS multiple launch rocket system rocket produced in the USA, as well as 137 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, The following have been destroyed: 660 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 48,599 unmanned aerial vehicles, 601 anti-aircraft missile system, 22,511 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,532 combat vehicles of multiple launch rocket systems, 23,011 field artillery pieces and mortars, 33,388 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.